Another one who's gone to bat for all of us, Mr. Makoto Fujimura, is in the house tonight. There's no one left to judge. I lift up my soul. This world is damn treacherous. Don't let me be now. Don't let me be put to shame. Don't let me be now. Don't let me be put to shame. Hold in your arms, 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 in your arms, in your arms. Don't let me be, don't let me be what you say. Don't let me be now, don't let me be what you say.
Tonight we have musicians playing. I am an artist, visual artist. I'm exhibiting in Chelsea. I was just at my gallery today talking about terrific shift in the market forces right now. That art world is probably in next 5 years is going to experience this such traumatic, dare I say it, death. Because from the Lehman Brothers collapsing and because of the market forces changing, and this is happening in the publishing industry, it's happening in the music industry, it's happening everywhere. Okay, there's a paradigm shift. And in the art market though, in particular, we're experiencing something so huge. I don't think anybody who is alive today has experienced anything like what we are about to experience. So there's this huge paradigm shift taking place. There's fragmentation. There is a sense in which the system which has fed us is no longer working. So how do you survive? You know, how do you make art? How do you allow these things, this place, to exist? That's an open question. That's an open question to all of us. And it's a challenge. It's a huge challenge. Because if you're involved in the arts, you know this every day. You fight this battle every day. You fight for your own existence, your music, your theater, your dance. Now, so I suspect that many of you, like myself, are probably going through death. It's inevitable in life. There's winter coming. And we have to deal with the reality of that. And I want to suggest to you that this context, as Phoebe mentioned earlier, of the arts, a safe place where we can ask and wrestle with deep questions of art, faith, and humanity, is needed, and it is a place for you and me to go deeper. I have been journeying with T.S. Eliot. Here's a copy of Four Quartets, his last poem, really, that he wrote. And Four Quartets went everywhere with me after 9/11, because I was utterly depressed, and I was going through this winter time, facing ground zero every day, can do that to you. And I needed a guide. I needed a guide who know what I'm going through. That the time seemed utterly bleak, that I couldn't see the future that well. I couldn't paint, I couldn't write, but I knew that I needed to paint and I needed to write. And I realized somebody, one of my friends, dear friend, Greg Wolf, who runs this amazing journal called Image Journal, told me once that if you feel ever dislocated, even in some ways in despair, in such a deep despair that you feel utterly fragmented, this is the poem to read, Four Quartets. And I kind of tucked that away in my mind, and I never really thought about it until after 9/11. And I picked it up, I began to read this poem over and over. Sometimes in subways I'll be reading this aloud because I couldn't hear it unless I read it aloud. And after a while, I began to realize that this man, Eliot, who wrote this in between the world wars, facing the darkness encroaching in Europe, right? And he wrote one of the most hopeful, hope-filled words that I think anybody has written, certainly in 20th century. And so I wanted to know why he was able to do that. It seemed rather miraculous to me when he went from the wasteland to the Four Quartets. And I have this book by Helen Gardner, the best book on the art of T.S. Eliot. And I want to kind of share with you what I read here, because it kind of has to do with the soil, and it points to the possibilities that if we are facing a winter, then we need to think about what to do to prepare ourselves. And Helen Gardner, who taught at Oxford, and these are basically her lectures, she is very precise in what she talks about when it comes to Eliot's journey of faith. And she writes this. She says, the problem of communication for a religious poet is an age where his religious beliefs are not widely held is a special aspect of the general problem of communication for the poet in the modern world. Until about 100 years ago, the public for whom the poet wrote was, if not so compact and unified culturally as it is sometimes suggested, at least in rough agreement as to what an educated man should be presumed to know. Now she's talking about people reading Chaucer, people reading Dante and Milton, having a common tongue. And we entered in modern age this fragmentation where literally the conversation and the language has fragmented, splintered into so many different arenas that she's saying that it's a very difficult thing to hold it together. And so what she is pointing out and what Eliot understood is that there has to be, something that unifies this fragmentation if you were to have hope at all. If you were to even think about the possibility of a spring coming, then you have to do the hard work of recognizing this reality. And she suggests that Four Quartets is possibly one of the few texts in 20th century where a person has actually gone through that process and come out the other side. Most have ended in despair and cynicism. T.S. Eliot didn't. So that's a guide that at least I think I need to journey with.
People get ready now, there's a train coming. You don't need no baggage, you just get on board. All you need is faith to get the diesel humming. Don't need no ticket, just thank the Lord. All right now.
Mr. King, up in the night.
just hanging. Give a hand for Grace Weber, everybody.